You know I'm a friendly guy, always have been. Well, anyway, last weekend I went to the county seat, stopped by the Pioneer Cafe. One of my old classmates from the 50s was there, just sitting all by himself at the counter, having a cigarette, donut, and coffee. I wouldn't give a dog a cigarette, donut, and coffee. There were only 2 seats left in the place, both at the counter, one on each side of him. So I had to sit next to him. Well, I couldn't think of his real name, but it was the guy from my high school days, the only white guy in the Spanish club. He was that guy with the big ears who walked funny, kind of hopped and looked all around, like he was afraid someone was going to hurt him. Looked like a crazy little dog. The others in the Spanish club called him El Perrito Loco, whatever that meant. So, since I had to sit next to him at the Pioneer, I thought, let bygones be bygones. And I said, trying to be friendly, Jesus Christ, Perrito Loco, is that you? And he stuck out my hand, and he just stared at it in his funny way, like he'd never seen a hand before. Well, what can you expect? I said, it's me, Sterling. After a minute, he said, Alphonse Ratzlaff. He kind of spoke in a whisper, I don't know why. I said, Alphonse Ratzlaff, he played basketball for the Celtics in the 60s, right? What? The Celtics, Christ, this guy didn't know anything about basketball. Then he said, no, Alphonse Ratzlaff is my name, not the other. I almost laughed in his face. No guy in our high school in the 50s was ever named Alphonse. He got a hurt look in his eyes, like he wanted to hop away, looking over his shoulder like he used to do. Then he looked angry. I guess some people just don't know how to handle friendliness. I tried again to get a handshake. No such luck. He said, and you're Starling? Sterling, buddy. A starling is a bird, a pest. He said, yes. It was quiet for a while. I ordered a double cheeseburger and a Pepsi. I thought I'd try again to get the conversation going. Say, buddy, where are you living these days? Green Pastures, an old TV program. Eddie Murphy, Charo Gabor, what a doll. He looked at me like I couldn't be more wrong. He said, what? I said, TV. No, I live at Green Pastures on the county road, the funny farm. I should have known. What could I say? How is it? He brightened up a little. I like it. I have a pass for weekends. They trust me 2/7 of the time. 2/7 of the time? Yeah, I'm here at the Pioneer on Saturdays and Sundays, like this. He motioned with his cigarette toward his coffee and his donut on a dish, ashes scattered. He took a bite. They let me smoke here. I said, how's the food at the funny farm? Better than here, Starling. He kept calling me Starling rather than Sterling. Then he seemed worried. I'm schizophrenic. Well, I figured I should show some acceptance. Alphonse, what does the voice say to you? He looked at me funny and shook his head from side to side. I thought I'd try again. The voice, Alphonse. There is no voice. Does it scare you? Does it criticize you? Does it tell you to hurt people? He took a furious puff, squinted, and ground out the cigarette on his dish. He He started to stand up, then sat back down. "Look, Starling, you're not understanding." Still in that kind of whisper. I waited. Then he said, "Starling, say men in mental." Jesus, this guy was hard to talk to. Men. "Good. Say the psych in psychiatry." Psych. "Now, say the frig in voice." What? Was he toying with me? This guy? I didn't like it. He said it again. "Now, say the frig in voice." I'd had enough. "There is no friggin' voice." "Darling, that's what I've been trying to tell you. There is no friggin' voice." This guy seemed to have turned mean since high school, not like the wimp he used to be, but I gotta admit, he'd made his point. "Okay, Alphonse." "Okay, you bet, okay, AA+, okay, there is no friggin' voice." I got it. "How's the psychotherapy at Green Pastures?" "It's psychotherapy con mala leche." Another trap? Whatever it meant, I let that one pass. He went on. "They give milk, but it's bad milk." "Alphonse, you say funny things." "We can say anything we want. We're old." He began to stand up, but looked me in the eye for the first time instead. Then he stared at his donut on the dish and whispered, "Anger is like a stone thrown into a hornet's nest." Malabar proverb. Malabar? That strip on the ocean above LA? But I didn't know what celebrity made up that proverb. I wanted to get out of the Pioneer. "Well, Alphonse, I've enjoyed talking with you. A lie, partly, but I'm known as a friendly guy, and I was beginning to feel bad about how I used to treat him. His hopping when he walked and looking over his shoulder, he couldn't help it." He said, "Jurassic Park, a good movie." Christ, then I couldn't resist. It was just like high school again. Why do we automatically torment a guy like him? Before I thought, I said, "Perrito, did you say your ass is parked?" I saw his hatred flash. He said, "The dog barks, but the caravan moves on." Was he calling me a dog? Dog, Perrito, reminds me, why'd you buy those mismatched clothes? Salesman threatened to shoot your dog? Damn, why couldn't I stop? Get a hold of yourself. His words ran together. "That dog won't hunt. I used to think that 2 and 2 was 5. Now I know that 2 and 2 is 4, but I don't like it." That was crazy talk for sure. I started to sweat. He said to me, "Starling, we had a nice talk. Your time is up now. We can talk some more at your next appointment. This place will put your food in a bag if you ask them. You're a friendly guy." What? "Some seeds fall on barren ground." Alphonse, buddy, you said a mouthful. Truer words were never spoken. Don't you forget it. You can say that again. I guess he liked when I said that. He seemed to almost smile. He picked up his dish in one hand and his spoon in the other. He held them upright, only a little space between them. He said, "The little dog laughed." Then he said some rhyme. While he ran the dish and the spoon away from him side by side down the counter, the dish and the spoon kind of hopped along together. Then he began to weep. Well, I got out of there fast, left my cheeseburger and Pepsi, forgot to pay. When I drove past later, I could see Alphonse through the window. His dish and spoon were back flat on the counter. He was smoking slowly. He looked more relaxed. Maybe I did him some good. You know I'm a friendly guy. Always have been. Maybe I did him some good.